Well, I think games like this are certainly something, if you're a great competitor, you certainly look forward to. Um, I think we all commit, to things in our life. When you commit to things, you have a sense of purpose. When you have a sense of purpose, you're willing to make the choices and decisions to create the right habits so that you can be the best version of yourself, when you get in a competitive situation. And then you have to ask yourself sometimes, or not, maybe the things that I'm doing are not creating the best habits for me to be able to accomplish the goals I have and the things I'm committed to. So then you got to question what your sense of purpose is. So I think that, these are the kind of lessons in life that at least I learned, and I think players have to learn. Um, because if you do this as a football player, you make a commitment, you have a sense of purpose, you create the right habits, you'll be able to do that in anything you choose to do in your life. But if you don't, and you can't do that, and you can't persevere, and you can't make those choices and decisions, it's my fear that, that may affect your chances of being successful in your life. So, and these kind of challenges and these kinds of games, all right, as, competitors, that's when you find out just, what your commitment has been and what are the habits that you've created and what do you have to continue to do to try to, be the kind of player you want to be the kind of team you want to be. So we'll certainly find that out because we're going to play a really good team in the SEC and a tough place to play. So, and we're certainly looking forward to the challenge because we'll, kind of tell us a little bit about who we are, um, where we got to go, what we need to do to get there.
Okay, we'll start with Aaron Suttles. Aaron, go ahead.
Coach, you've played in a lot of these games, a lot of top 25 matchups in your career at Alabama. And I know every win is important because they're hard to get, but is there any memorable ones that stick out to you that meant maybe more to you than others?
Well, the one that means the most is always the one that's coming up next because that's the one you're focused on. That's the one you're thinking about. I don't really think a lot about. Um, I guess the ones I remember the most are the ones we didn't have success in and tried to figure out why. So, but I can't really say that there was any one that was more memorable than others. Obviously, when you win a championship game, you're always playing against a good team, and there's a lot at stake. And when you win them, you feel great, and they're great. And when you lose them, you feel horrible. So, but that's what competitive sports are all about, and that's what you try to work to avoid. That you can have success, and you don't have that feeling of what it's like to lose.
We'll go to Nick Kelly.
You've talked a few times this week about they've got some quarterbacks who can run, but they've also hit on some deep passes as well to start the season. What's the key to defending both well at the same time?
Well, it's not easy because when the quarterbacks are good runners, they're obviously, as I've said before, they have an extra blocker. So you have to be +1 in a running game all the time, and when you do that, you can't be +1 in a passing game. So, players have to be really disciplined, and you got to do a good job of keeping people cut off, keep people in front of you, have a good understanding of, what we're playing, what we're doing. I think you do have to do a good job of pushing the pocket. I mean, it's a team defense thing. These guys can throw the ball. I've never ever said that they weren't good passers. I just said that they were really good runners, and they are very effective passers, and they've got good skill guys, and they can make big plays. So that's what makes them, one of the best offensive teams in the country. And we'll have to play really well together as a team to be able to slow them down.
We'll go to Charlie Potter.
Hey, Coach. Just after watching the film of last week's game, what did you think of the way that Drew Sanders played, stepping in there for Chris Allen?
Played really well. He did a really good job. I think he was one of the players of the week, I think. But he did a really good job. And, he's a good football player. And I think the more experience he gets, the more reps that he takes, the better he gets. Chris was a really, really good player for us and, a really tough loss for us. But, I think, Drew certainly took advantage of the opportunity that he had and did a really good job.
We'll go to Michael Casagrande.
I know this time last week you were unhappy with some of the practice habits from the team. What have you seen this week in that regard?
We've had a lot better energy, a lot better focus, really practiced a lot better. So I'm not disappointed in the way we're preparing for this game.
We'll go to Taylor Kaufman. Taylor. Taylor, you're muted.
Thank you. Hey, Coach, you were talking about perseverance. Just talk about how Brian Robinson has shown that and just how his role's evolved.
Yeah, B-Rob has really done an outstanding job, I think. You know, he's been here for 5 years. 4 of those years he played, but he was never the guy. He played on special teams. He played some backup roles. He got some opportunity, probably not as much as he'd like. And then I think he made a tough decision, you know, to say, I want to come back. I want to play. I know I can get much more of an opportunity to show what I can do. And I think so far this year he's done a really, really good job of that. But I do think, you know, you use the word perseverance that, you know, I think is a great example of guys that don't have immediate success and how they focus on development and to continue to improve and continue to work hard rather than get frustrated and make choices and decisions that are not going to help them develop and not going to help them, you know, advance their opportunities to play. And I think, you know, B-Rob certainly never did that. There are players that do that, and it takes a while for them to mature so that they can do it. But B-Rob's always showed tremendous maturity, you know, in his disposition on the team, how he could contribute to the team, and how he's improved as a player.
Okay, we got time for 2 more. We'll start with Mike Rodak and then Joe.
What have you seen from Josh Jobe and Jalen Arbor Davis this week, just in terms of getting ready and being available for the game?
Yeah, they practice all the plays. They're out there playing every day, so seem like they're doing okay to me.
And we'll finish up with Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Coach, what's your assessment of James Burnip through the first 2 weeks, and how do you feel about the punter position heading into the environment? Yeah,
well, I think James has gotten better each game, and he's actually probably had his best week of practice this week. And I think he's got a lot of potential, and I think he'll continue to improve as he gets more experience and more confidence. So we're pleased with him, and I feel much better about that position than maybe I have the past couple of years when, you know, we haven't had very good performance at that position. I think we can get even better than what we've done to this point. I expect that, and I think James is the guy who can do it.
Okay, Coach, that's all we got.